Junior 2, that ain't my baby. Twins 2, doubling child support payments. That's horrible. So clearly I'm single, and don't laugh at my pain. And I hate when people who are in relationships know you're single, and they decide to like throw that they're in a relationship in your face. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. You do it all the time. Like I was at work the other day, and this girl's telling me how she's on a 3-year anniversary with her boyfriend. I'm like, wow, 3 years? I can't even hold on to her for more than 3 seconds. And she's like, no, she hasn't found the right one. I'm like, no, actually, I can't hold on to him. Somehow they get untied, and then they start screaming. Oh man, I've been partying a lot since I've been single. This is really funny. Complete side note. You ever meet somebody who won't drink something, like they won't drink like tequila or vodka because they had a bad experience once? Yeah, you know somebody like that. Like, no, I had a bad experience. What I usually say to them is, look, I've had bad experience with women. That doesn't mean I'm making out with dudes on the weekends, all right? Only on the weekends. Gotta take a shot. It's okay. But since I've been partying a lot. Does anyone else like to party in here? No, they're all lazy. 1, 2. I'm a party guy. I gotta do that. But like, I realize that I'm that guy, and we all know that one guy that drinks too much and does weird stuff. For those guys that are not shaking their heads, it's most likely you. But I found a way to recognize you for that guy. Get this: you go to a party and you leave with something in your pocket that you didn't come there with. You're that guy. Okay? Now follow me. It's never something small, like a pen or some keys. It's always something ridiculously huge. Like at the end of the party, you might be like, dude, how do I get the belt sander in my pocket? And this is a great party. I realize that when I'm drunk, I tend to roam into the women's bathroom. And the only reason is it says women on it, so I think that's what I want. I'm like, oh, there's women there, that's what I want. I know, it's weird, right? So I thought, I suggested to the owner, I'm like, why don't you put women's pee here? But then I later thought that's a bad idea, because I might be more inclined to go in there if that sounds right. The guy's like, you too. There's just some things I don't get. I really don't. Like, you ever have somebody use a big word on you and you don't know what it means, but you kind of play it off like you do? Right? Like, I was in the middle of a conversation with this guy, and he's like, dude, you're such an atheist. I'm like, no. I like girls. My ex-girlfriend called me the other day, and she's like, where are you? I'm like, at my new girlfriend's house. She's like, she got like all mad, she hung up the phone. I was like, what is your problem? Then I realized I forgot to tell her we broke up. Funny story with her though. I went to visit her, she was living with her parents. And her mom refused to let us sleep in the same bed. Like, it was starting to really piss me off. I was like begging, I'm like, why not? Then I finally manned up, I'm like, fine, I'll sleep in the same bed as your daughter, but you're missing on some good phone times. I suck at dating. I really do. I have a dating story for you. So this girl said she wanted authentic Mexican. I'm like, all right, we can do that. So we're driving to Taco Bell, and she's telling me she's in PETA, not the bread, the group. And she's telling me how she has a mouse in her house, and she wanted me to come over and get rid of it in a humane way. I'm like, all right, I can do that. So I go over. I set up a box with a piece of cheese under it and a stick, and a string attached to the stick. Okay. And the mouse went in there, and this worked, I swear. I pulled the stick out and caught the mouse. I was like, oh, cool. And then I brought it out to the safety of the woods and lit the box on fire. You can't catch it in any way. You can't kill it in any way. I went on a blind date once, ended horribly. And it wasn't like, I knew the girl, and the reason I call it was a blind date, is because she made me at the end of the night. Awkward. Ah, boy. I think I'm afraid of kids. I really am. Because I get in arguments with kids. I do. Like, for example, my niece is 7, and she's a jerk. Alright? Just stating facts. I really am. We took her to a psychologist. He's like, wow, she's a jerk. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's a jerk. It was weird. And I like to mess with her. I like to poke fun at her. I'm like, how do you like this boy? You like this boy? One day she turned around and she's like, well, F you! I was like, whoa! Like, I wanted to hit her, but I didn't. So I hit her mentally. I'm like, you want to hear a secret? These kids love secrets, don't they? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you want to know why your name is Nixie? She's like, why? Because I'm like, short for mistake, shut up. I don't know 7-year-olds. I don't get along. I just don't. I found that I'm a little insensitive. I used to work at, I got fired from a job for being insensitive. I used to work in a home for troubled children, like Parsons or those kind of places. And I was like an on-call night monitor, like in case there was an emergency, which 90% of the emergencies usually ended up with one of the kids trying to kill themselves. But when I was on, nothing ever happened. So I'm like, all right, one night, I'm like, I'm just going to go out for a drink. With my luck, actually, some kid actually tried to kill himself. He tried to jump off a parking lot, the top of it. So I ran back down my drink and I ran back. By the time I got back, my drink was starting to kick in. So the things in my head were not agreeing with the things that came out of my mouth. Because when I'm looking at the kid, I'm thinking, don't jump. Your life, it's not worth it. You have so much to live for. But what came out was, do a flip! Some people, I don't know, some people just don't want to hear the truth. Like, nothing is the way it seems anymore, right? Like, everything's going to be PC. No, not pressure. What's PC? Politically correct. Thank you, one person, everyone doesn't know. So, like, nothing's the way it seems. Like, he's not black, he's African American, he's not Caucasian. I'm sorry, he's not white, he's Caucasian. He's not a pedophile, he's a priest. He's not a registered sex offender, he's Uncle Roy. He's just not the way. My mom asked me if I was indecisive the other day. I told her I wasn't sure. Thank you, that's part one of the 3 latest jokes I've ever heard. Here's part 2. So I was taking my diabetes medicine the other day, and I don't have diabetes, I just take it so I don't get it. And they took a census of people who voted for Obama, and it turns out there are a lot of homeless people. And I was shocked, and I read about it, and they went to interview some of the homeless people, and they all asked them the same question, they all got the same response. They're like, why did you vote for Obama? They said, Obama. They said, because he promised us change. That's part 2 of the 3 latest jokes I've ever heard. How many people have kids in here? 1, 2, I know somebody walked in with a kid. You know that lullaby, rockabye baby? That's a really twisted thing to say to your child before they go to sleep, isn't it? Like, it just goes downhill halfway. How's it go? Rockabye baby on the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock, when the bob breaks, the cradle will fall, and the sound of a baby cradle and all. Like, why don't you just tell the middleman, kiss your child on the head before they go to sleep, go, you're gonna die in your sleep. There's things I want to do before I die. I have life goals. I want to perform the first blind barbershop quartet that only covers a song I can see clearly now. I also want to start the first atheist acapella that only covers the song Don't Stop Believing. Guys, you should try this. It's one of my favorite things. I love to go to the bathrooms with multiple urinals, and stand behind the one guy in there using one like I'm waiting in line for something. And then when he looks back at me like, what are you doing? I just go, shh. Live the moment. Awkward situation. That's actually cool. So, being a black comedian, people expect me to do the differences between black people and white people, how black people do it. Well, it's unfortunate tonight that I actually have those jokes. So, who's ready to hop on the giggle train next stop, Black Joke Film? Anybody? Rick, anybody else? Well, you're all going, doesn't it? Alright, we're going to start off big here. Start off big! Black people are good dancers, right? Whereas white people are usually serial killers. It's a difference. Two different things. Okay. White people are good at sports like polo, bowling, and golf. Whereas black people are good at the rest. And big here. And big. You're gonna laugh! I'm gonna get you to laugh at the other When white people want to go work out, socialize, and shower off, they go to the gym like the YMCA. That was right? Yeah, that's that. When black people want to go work out, socialize, and shower off, they go to prison. All right, my name is Mo Haskins. Thank you very much. You guys are great.